When there's something strange in your neighborhood, who you gonna call? The Deathmatch Buster, Matt Cardona, and today we are unboxing all three Kenner style figures. It's gonna be a good one, guys. Stay tuned. So Matt Cardona is the $1,000 broski. He's the Michael Jordan of wrestling figure collecting, and he's had a very blessed action figure career. He's gotten figures in all different types of form factors, but today we're taking a look at some unmarked territory in terms of wrestling figures, because today we're unboxing the new major Matt Cardona Deathmatch Busters figures, all three variants, and we're going to talk about how they're different, not just the carding. But these are all stylized after the early 90s Kenner line of the Real Ghostbusters cartoons. So before I get into these, all right, I don't want you to say, the head sculpt on that is so cartoony. It is supposed to be, okay? These are supposed to look cartoony, and honestly, just at first glance, I thought they looked pretty damn good, and they look like they would fit in with the original Ghostbusters line, but I want to see what else they fit in with. So I got a couple figures here that we're going to compare them to. I have an original Kenner Real Ghostbusters right here, and a major bendy that I think kind of goes along with the Deathmatch Buster himself. So we're going to take a look at all of these. We're going to look at them front to back, baby. So starting off with the packaging, we have this one right here. Check out the back. There he is, rocking the light tube with the blood behind him. And even the artwork, the TTD artwork on here is very reminiscent of the original Real Ghostbusters carding. So it's very, very cool. Now, if you are a wrestling collector and a Ghostbusters collector, one thing I will say, if you're expecting these to be exactly like the original Kenners in terms of carding, they're not. These are a little bit smaller, rightfully so, right? I don't think he's really going for continuing the line of the Real Ghostbusters. He's a Ghostbuster fan. He's a wrestler. Why not tie them together, right? I love that it comes with an accessory, all right? If you're expecting this thing to have a hole in the back, it's not going to, and I will tell you why. He's not going to be rocking a proton pack, at least not from the Kenner line. Now, you'll notice that we have the caution tape up there, that red and black like on the Ecto-1. Matt Cardona down the side, just like the originals. And it has a little bubble above it that says, "All hail the Deathmatch King." Very, very cool. And these will be available at collectmajor.com. Right now, you can pick these up on Mondays on Matt's Whatnot channel. So we're going to start off with this one. At first glance, you might be saying, that looks just like the one on the end. It just has a bat. It is not. It is a different figure, and I will show you why once we get to it. So we're going to rip this one open. All right. I'm excited about this because this is actually Major's first foray into having a carded and sealed bubble figure. Usually we get the resealable packaging. I'm loving this, man. All right. All right, man. So far, honestly, the craziest part about it, I'm not even going to size it up to the other Ghostbuster yet. The feel. The first thing that I feel is it literally does feel like an original Real Ghostbusters figure. Like the plastic, right? Very 90s. We got a lot of figures in this style, the 5 points of articulation. So, bring this up to the camera. We're going to start off from the bottom. Check that out. So he's got his boots with the MC on it. And that MC is not just deco. It's not just painted. That is sculpted on the boot. Not sure if it's picking up on the camera, but it is sculpted there. Even has the buckles on the back end of his boots like he actually has. Pretty authentic to him. The jumpsuit is supposed to be one piece, as it should be. Zipped up. We got some pockets. We got the lapels. And then, of course, like any Ghostbuster should, it has his last name over the left breast, which says Cardona. He's got his gloved hands because no deathmatch wrestler wants to cut up their hands. He's got his gray elbow pads that really go well with the whole attire. And then on the back, we have the Deathmatch Busters logo. And as you'll see, that is not the Ghostbusters logo. No. And that is Nick Gage. And he is holding his infamous pizza cutter. You'll notice that the likeness on Matt is pretty damn good for a cartoon figure. Even the stylization of the eyes, how they paint them with that circle and then that loop around the top, is very in line with the original Kenner and They made sure to sculpt in the hair. Honestly, dude, this is awesome. But what I want to do is I want to see how this measures up to an original. I mean, it's it's pretty in line. I'll bring it up to the camera. It is pretty in line there, man. Foot to foot is pretty in line. I mean, Matt's taller, but he's not at a scale, right? Matt would be taller than the Ghostbusters. Matt's a pretty big dude if you've never been in his presence. So, I mean, it's there. I think this would fit in. I should have brought my Ecto-1 out here to see if he fits in the car, fits in the playset, but that's not really necessary. Now, here's the real test, right? We've got a nice light tube accessory here. See if it fits in his hand. It's supposed to. How well does it fit in there? Actually, it fits really good. And the thing I like about this most, a lot of times with accessories, they'll fit in the hand, right? And it's just straight up. But check this out. It's kind of leaning forward, which if a real person was to hold a light tube, they're probably going to like have it like this, getting ready to smash over. So I like that he's kind of holding it forward. He probably could even put it down and it's like pointing at his opponent. I dig it. I do. But we're talking about the Deathmatch Buster. Okay, if you're a Deathmatch Buster, that means you're getting into some death matches, so you're probably gonna get bloody. So this is from his match with this is from a match with Nick Gage, and we got a bloody variant here. So let's rip into this and let's see what it's looking like. I probably should say the carding on this one is almost identical. The only difference is he's covered in blood. So we're talking about 3 unique figures, 3 unique cards and packaging. I mean, he went all out for this. You just know what a big fan he is of the Ghostbusters. So we're going to take a look. All right, so starting off, here we go. Everything is the same on the figure. The only difference is he is absolutely covered in blood. Look at that, the blood spatter. And it's not just like random lines of blood, right? This is actually designed and detailed blood spatter that is different throughout the whole figure, which is pretty cool. And it's not just on the jumpsuit. It is on his arms, right? It's on his face, on the forehead, as it should be. Macho Friend and I, we went to go see him face Shotzi Blackheart in Atlantic City last month, and he was way bloodier than this. He was covered. But as you can see, it's the same figure in the back. It's just bloody. But honestly, I feel like you need to have a bloody figure of Matt Cardona as the Deathmatch Buster. Now, he does come with a light tube. It is bloody. But my question is, which side should be in his hand? Should the bloody side be in his hand? Because that would technically be his blood since it's not a broken light tube. Or do you put the less bloody side in his hand? I think it looks cool having the bloody side there, but I feel like realistically that would be in his hand because he's covered in blood. Very cool. I dig it. But since this is the Nick Gage Deathmatch Buster, I brought Nick Gage's Major Bendy. I want to see how this sizes up to it. I do not think these are in scale. Don't get me wrong. I'm just curious about the height and everything like that. So honestly, it's a little bit taller. But I feel like if these were on a shelf together, it's not going to be a drastic difference. So, all right. And now, the one that I've been waiting for is that ectoplasmid barbed wire bat version. I don't know why. Listen, I grew up on CZW. You would think I'd like the light tube version. This is the one that really stood out to me. Maybe it's the color that brings me back to that original Kenner line of the Real Ghostbusters. It's very, very in line with that. I love these ones, but this is the one I've been excited about. So let's rip into it. But first, let's talk about the packaging. As you can see, it's different. The other packaging was all purple. This one has the slime kind of dripping down. All right, and you'll notice it's a very similar image of Matt, but he's facing the opposite direction. All right, because in his hand over here is the barbed wire bat, as you can see on the back. and there's blood coming off of it. All right, so let's take a look at this bad boy. I definitely, just from for starters, this is coming from a New Jersey guy, right? Nick Gage literally lives the town over. You would think that I'd be all for this Nick Gage one, and I love it. But just a glance at the back of this one, I'll show you. I love this one. But anyways, we'll start off with the bat. The bat is a little bit more flexible than that of the light tube, but the detail is there, man. It's very, very cool. Baseball bat covered in barbed wire. And when you look close, man, they really have a lot of barbs, and they really went all in on how that thing is twisted and wrapped around that bat. But here is Matt. Again, he's got the same mold. It's all the same mold, okay? So he's got the molded boots, which is a nice touch. Again, they could have easily gotten away with some simple deco. He's got the jumpsuit, the elbow pads, gloves, Cardona there. The head's the same. My favorite part is the back. It says Deathmatch Busters, but instead of Nick Gage, we have PCO there. That Frankenstein-looking PCO, and it just nails the logo that they had on the back of this. So I gotta say, guys, I'm leaning towards this one, but let's put that bat in his hand. I'm putting it in his right hand since the light tubes are in the left. I do, man. I just think that this one, having this green barbed wire bat, just ties in the whole vibe of the Real Ghostbusters line by Kenner. So I gotta say, I love all of these. Now, these are not yet available on collectmajor.com, so I can't even speak on the price point of these. I'm not sure what the actual retail price of these is going to be, but they're a good value, man. These are quality figures here. When I tell you they don't feel cheap, sometimes you get the indie figures and you're like, they feel kind of cheap. What do you expect? These literally feel like a real Ghostbusters figure. So much so that I think a Ghostbusters fan would probably be like, did Kenner make these? Are these licensed figures? Because the whole vibe, the whole feel, everything about them is very reminiscent. So I gotta say, man, I love these. I really do. The only critique that I would have on this, and it's really not realistic, but I would want more accessories, right? I think maybe if they went the bloody light tube with the bloody version of the Nick Gage Deathmatch Buster, and then maybe had a pizza cutter. I think that would be nice for this one. A pizza cutter in Matt's hand for this one. Maybe 3 different accessories. Either way, such an original idea. Really betting on himself here, because a lot of wrestling figure collectors are more inclined to purchase a figure that is in a form factor that they already have. I'm not confident in this, but I don't believe that this is something, a form factor and a style of figure that Matt is going to continue to produce with Major. I don't think that we're going to get an SDL. I don't think we're going to get a Nick Gage. I don't think we're going to get a PCO. I think this is just a one-off for his merch table, for online, just so he can have something unique and different, and I love that. So if you are one of those people that like, I need to have multiple figures in a form factor, probably isn't for you. But for me, I don't care about that stuff. Okay, I just love wrestling figures of all styles, and you can see that simply in my room. That's not me just saying that. I would buy these. If these were on the shelf and they continued to produce these with different figures, different characters, I would 100% buy these, and I would be all in on this line. I'm also a 90s kid, so there's so much love right here just circulating around this figure, right? Wrestling. Real Ghostbusters, my man Matt Cardona, like everything about this is something that is 100% up my alley. If it is not exactly up your alley, maybe you're a big fan of Matt Cardona, maybe you're not a Ghostbusters fan, maybe you are a Ghostbusters fan, but you want more wrestling figures like this. I can't promise they're going to do that. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. I don't think they are. So that would be my biggest critiques of this. As a collector, I think there is a space in my collection for any type of unique form factor. And I like different stuff. So personally, my favorite We're going to rank these. Number 1 is right here with the green bat, the PCO version. Number 2, believe it or not, is going to be the bloody one because I'm very impressed. I'm very impressed with all the blood spatter. I'm looking at it. There is not a single piece of blood spatter that is repeated anywhere on this. And I'm going to be 100% real with you. If I was producing a wrestling figure and we were covering it in blood, I would absolutely reuse different designs of blood spatter just because this is such a tedious act. So I'm impressed by that. And then third is this one. Now, don't get that confused. I think all 3 are awesome figures. So definitely suggest picking these up. Keep an eye out on collectmajor.com. If you want them right now, he's selling them signed and unsigned on his Whatnot stream. So just go on Whatnot. You can join at whatheal.com. And if you join at whatheal.com, you'll get $15 off your first purchase. So whatever the price is when you go on there for these, that's going to be $15 off. If I remember correctly, I think they were, I don't even want to say, but part of me wants to say that they were like 45, I believe. But I think that might have been signed ones. I can't remember, but you get $15 off. So hope you guys like this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok at FigHeal. Twitter is at TheFigHeal. Pick up the Wrestling Figure Encyclopedia, available now on Amazon.com or simply go to healbooks.com. And I'll see you on the next one, guys. Thank you for joining me. The Deathmatch Buster is out. Are you a wrestling figure collector of WWE Mattel, AEW Jazzwares, and everything in between? Then you need FigHeal's Wrestling Figure Encyclopedia, the modern edition covering all releases from 2010 to present day. Featuring over 7,000 photos of action figures from the hottest brands, including independent toy makers. Keep track of what you have, want, and need, including loose, mock, and overall collection value. With figure photography by Matthew Goldberg, the Wrestling Figure Encyclopedia is a must-have for collectors. Full-color paperback and hardcover editions available now at healbooks.com. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at FigHeal. Pick up my book series on Amazon and my merchandise on ProWrestlingTees.com/FigHeal. Join my official sponsor, Whatnot, at whatheal.com and receive $15 off your first purchase.